First at 4, it's a big step toward the new normal in Michigan. Here is Governor Whitmer.
Effective today, our Pure Michigan summer is back and we can realize it.
The celebration comes with words of caution from the state's top doctor, what she says you should keep in mind going forward. We also have breaking news on charges in the shooting death of a toddler on Interstate 75. The very latest information on the suspects, plus we'll check in with Ben.
Karen, still hasn't got to 70 degrees, plus we've got some showers around today, but the heat is coming back. The question is how quickly. We'll check it out for you right now. First at 4.
Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
Good afternoon, I'm Karen Drew. Breaking news first at 4. 2 men have just been charged in connection to that freeway shooting that killed a 2-year-old boy. 19-year-old Darius Lanier and 21-year-old Eugene Hubbard face several charges, including first-degree murder. Prosecutor Kim Worthy calls the shooting a case of mistaken identity. It happened Thursday night on I-75 and McNichols. 2-year-old Bryson Christian died from his injuries. His 9-year-old brother, BJ, was wounded, is though recovering. Both suspects are set to be arraigned on charges this afternoon. We're following that closely. Meantime, while we wait for the suspects to be formally arraigned, Detroit police are kicking off Operation Bryson. The department is teaming up with Michigan State Police and other agencies to step patrols up on freeways. Detroit's interim chief, James White, says it is an effort to put a stop to road rage and other acts of violence.
It must stop now. And if you care anything about this community, and you care anything about what has happened to little Bryson, it's imperative that you speak up and let us know where these predators are.
Our Sean Lay is following the arraignment of the suspects, and we'll have more information on Operation Bryson when you join us this evening at 5 o'clock. Our other big story here first at 4. We have talked about the reopening of Michigan before, but today really is a landmark day in the state's battle with COVID-19. This afternoon, Governor Gretchen Whitmer went to Belle Isle to explain why today is the day.
At this point in time, our COVID numbers have plummeted. Hospitalizations have. Our vaccination rates continue to climb, albeit a little slower than I'd like to see, but they're continuing to move in the right direction. And because of all these things, we felt comfortable moving forward today.
The governor and her team worked to balance a celebration of the new normal, ongoing COVID concerns, and also honoring lives lost during the pandemic. So here is what is changing. There are no more gathering orders in place, and all capacity limits indoors and outdoors have been lifted. Most state mask mandates have been lifted, but there are exceptions like private businesses, hospitals, and doctors' offices. The state health department has relaxed guidance for most workplaces. Employers can use their best judgment to avoid COVID exposures. Now, if you are not vaccinated, while you are not required to mask up, the state's top doctor says using a face mask and social distancing can still help you stay safe. Dr. Janae Caldoun is also urging more people to get vaccinated and has these words of caution.
The pandemic has not ended. There are still many people who have not been vaccinated, and we have not yet achieved herd immunity. And we still have the more easily transmitted variants across the United States and here in Michigan. We've identified the new Delta variant here in the state, and this variant is even more easily transmitted than the Alpha variant.
For many people, it is the fear of those new variants making them very reluctant to let go of the protocols that made them feel safer for the past 14 months. While many of us are no longer required to wear masks, there are cases where protecting yourself is the safer choice. Our Paula Tutman takes a closer look at where mask wearing goes from here. Paula.
Yeah, hi, Karen. When you talk about those variants and people who are concerned, rightfully so if you're paying attention to the science, but when you walk around, occasionally you still see signs on doors that say mask required, and then you are required to wear a mask. But you don't see anything necessarily that looks different, but when you actually talk to people, it does seem and feel a little different. Today without the mask mandate is a lot like every other day. Some people wearing them, some people not. Jamal is still firmly in the I'm wearing the mask camp, however.
I feel more comfortable still wearing a mask because COVID is still out there. I have been vaccinated, I'm fully vaccinated, but still until time goes on, I'll feel more comfortable after a while.
Jane and Anna are sisters and they are ecstatic.
Feels great. I mean, it feels nice to have that option. I think it feels great. It's about time we got back to normal.
Donna's been trying to get used to the idea that she doesn't have to wear a mask. Her first aha moment came at her son's graduation last weekend.
My brain was thinking, why are you here? What are we doing? Why are we so close to these people? So yes, the first time, it really did take some time to get used to it.
She's still kind of warming up to the idea, but that is taking some doing.
Mentally, it took some time to get used to, but I did go in without a mask on, and I went earlier to volunteer somewhere, and we didn't have masks on, and I felt comfortable. I find myself still keeping my distance, but again, I think it's just getting used to getting back into everything.
And as for Lori, she is still firmly in the I'm wearing a mask category and very much aware of people around her who are not.
Well, I just sort of move around.
So not that comfortable.
No, not yet. Well, because I'm old, I'm vaccinated, and I don't even want to get a little bit of the COVID. So if there's a crowd, I wear a mask. If there's not many people, I don't.
Our own Dr. Frank McGeorge weighs in on the facts, and those are just because you don't have to wear a mask doesn't mean you shouldn't in certain situations.
Anyone who's unvaccinated, including children, should continue to wear masks in places where the risk of spread is higher, indoor, more crowded areas especially. Now also, anyone who might not have complete protection from the vaccine, we're talking about immune-compromised people, they should continue using masks. Our COVID situation is better, but it's not completely resolved. It's still a good idea to choose a mask wherever you feel like you might be at a higher exposure risk. That's especially the case indoors with more people around.
Yeah, so I will tell you something that I think is part of the new normal, or maybe just normal, or maybe I'll just say appreciated, and that was people who are vaccinated, people who are wearing masks and some who were not wearing masks. As I spoke to them, they did tell me whether or not they were inoculated. And I thought that that was very thoughtful. And so that might be something that people start doing, is saying, oh, by the way, I am inoculated. Karen.
All right. Thank you, Paula. As we see, Paula's holding up that umbrella, which isn't really nice when it's a nice afternoon and you're trying to enjoy it. We've got a little bit of mix going on. Started out really chilly, Ben. What are we expecting over the next couple of hours?
Yeah, Karen, it's the coldest day of the forecast, and clouds are getting pretty dark out there in Ann Arbor. There are showers across about half of the area, and more of us are going to see those before they finally move out. A lot of 60s in places where the rain has not showed up, but a rain-cooled 51 right now in Lapeer, and there's where the showers are in Storm Tracker 4. Most of those are in the north zone, north of 69, but a few more of those are creeping further to the south. So there's a chance that all of us could see a drop or two as this weak little wave moves through. Tomorrow we're looking at dry conditions, still relatively pleasant, but the temperatures ramp up, and so do the thunderstorm chances, not only Friday, but it looks like for 5 straight days from then on. And we'll talk about how much rain that's going to produce in just a few minutes. Karen?
Thank you, Ben. The U.S. Senate could vote in about 90 minutes on a voting rights bill, as if that issue isn't critical enough. The results of today's vote could have a huge ripple effect on how things get done on Capitol Hill. Kimberly Gill in the newsroom tracking the battle in the Senate right now. Kim.
Hi, Karen. Good afternoon. Democrats control the White House, the House, and the Senate, if just barely. But some in the party are growing increasingly frustrated they can't pass bills because Republicans use the filibuster in the Senate to stop them. At issue today is the Democrats' expansive elections and voting bill called the For the People Act. Supporters call the 900-page bill the civil rights issue of this era. It's designed to fight a wave of election reforms at the state level as several states pass new laws critics say will make it harder for many people to vote. Supporters say the changes will stop fraud, even though there's no evidence of widespread fraud. Senate rules require 60 votes to advance any bill for debate. That's where the filibuster comes in. Democrats have 51 votes at most, which means the bill will very likely fail to move forward. The Senate Minority Leader says that's what should happen.
The Senate is only an obstacle when the policy is flawed and the process is rotten. And that's exactly why this body exists.
What could be more hypocritical and cynical than invoking minority rights in the Senate as a pretext for preventing debate about how to preserve minority rights in the society?
West Virginia Democrat Joe Manchin has floated a compromise bill but hasn't received much support from either side. We're told the vote on the current bill could start around 5:30 tonight. So Karen will have updates as needed on Local 4 News at 5 and 6. For now, we'll send it back to you.
All right. Thank you, Kim.
Sure.
Still ahead, first at 4, would you lend money to a friend in need? We're going to talk about kindness and where the nicest people in America live. Do you think it's Michigan? Also, no vaccine, no service. One small store owner is putting a pretty drastic policy into place for COVID safety. And later, this NFL player makes history in the middle of Gay Pride Month. We'll share some of the support he's receiving on social media.